The recent appointment of opposition leader Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka to key continental jobs has in recent days ignited debate on the fate of the opposition in Kenya. While the ongoing cooperation between government and the minority side has been widely viewed as a win for the Kenyatta consolidation, his legacy on his final term, some analysts are worried that it could gradually kill the watchdog mandate of the opposition in government. Our political affairs reporter Murimi Mwangi revisits the predicament that faced President Kenyatta after the acrimonious 2017 polls and explains why the president could have borrowed a leaf from his political mentor Daniel Arap Moi, who was faced with a similar situation after a grueling 1992 polls.
Like a reigning champion just from lifting the trophy in a devastating high-stakes final bout, President Uhuru Kenyatta's re-election in the acrimonious 2017 polls was by far arguably his toughest political duel. And his March 9th surprise cooperation deal with his sworn rival, opposition leader Raila Odinga, the inevitable insurance to secure himself a smooth final term in office.
I think nitakuwa mtu wa mkono wa Uhuru kuanzia sasa. Na mtu asiniulize maswali. Ukiniuliza utaniona, utajua mimi ni mang'aa kama baba yangu.
And like Odinga, who took up the prestigious job as the first African Union Special Envoy for infrastructure development with Kenyatta's blessings, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka also recently secured appointment to chair the Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission on Peace in South Sudan. A state of affairs that has intensified debate on the fate, vigor, and effectiveness of the Kenyan opposition with its two strongmen, hinged to continental jobs as more of their allies line up for a bite of Kenyatta's Jubilee cake. But Uhuru's success conquering the opposition just a year into his final term has rekindled memories of similar tactics by his political mentor, retired President Daniel Arap Moi. Like Uhuru, who waded through a bitter resistance campaign after the acrimonious polls, Moi's 1992 victory with a paltry 36% of the total vote ignited a similar legitimacy query from the formidable yet bitterly divided opposition candidates Kenneth Matiba, Mwai Kibaki, and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, whose combined presidential vote exceeded 60%. But unlike Kenyatta, who went for opposition supremo Raila Odinga, confident of his Jubilee numbers in parliament, the man acclaimed as the professor of Kenyan politics had to orchestrate a series of defections from the opposition to KANU, the most comical one being that of then Makuyu Ford Asili elected member of parliament Julius Njoroge, whose move to KANU instantly ignited a hilarious supremacy battle in parliament on who was official opposition leader between Matiba and Jaramogi, as the defection had left their respective parties Ford Asili and Ford Kenya with equal number of legislators in the House. This was, however, only the beginning, as more opposition leaders sought refuge in KANU. Moi then tactfully frustrated the opposition with humiliating defeats in most of the subsequent by-elections, putting closure to the legitimacy question. But while the Kenyatta-Odinga deal effectively ended Uhuru's own legitimacy query, initially propagated by the pro-Odinga opposition camp, the question still lingers on how the opposition will play its watchdog role at a time most of the opposition leaders are eyeing appointments in the Kenyatta administration.
The moment you enter government, you are gagged. You are gagged in the sense that you cannot now pronounce yourself. It will be unethical for you to start pronouncing yourself on many other things, yet you are part of that government.
Sasa kama sisi tungekuwa tukigombana hapa, sio kazi ingepatiwa mtu mwingine. Raila akienda kwa hiyo kazi, unafikiria atasahau mabarabara zetu hapa Kenya? Sio ndio itakuwa ya kwanza? Jameni, tuache mambo ya ujinga.
Nevertheless, the coming days present interesting pages in the Kenyan opposition chapter, as Kenyatta steers his